Okay, here we are on September the 14th, Monday. It's about 12:30. This is weather generated by Tropical Storm Sally. At this point, I still don't think they've categorized it as a hurricane. And probably, from what I'm getting the drift, probably won't. This is Orange Beach, Alabama. We're a little bit east of Gulf Shores and a little bit west of the Alabama-Florida state line. The condominium I'm in is called Romer Place. There's a Phoenix 4 right next to me, and a Escape Shores is on the other side. The two condominiums on each side. Been coming over here for 60 years. This particular structure I'm in was built in 1984. The last big hurricane that hit this area was in 2004. It was called Ivan. Water was all the way up to the bottom of this building here, actually where you see this grass, which is a substantial elevation from the Gulf of Mexico right there. Did wash through the corner building, corner condo on the ground floor. Did a lot of damage in this area. Took I-10 bridge out in the Escambia Bay, and a lot of these buildings suffered damage. They've made changes and things to them, but there's not been a big storm, and right now Sally does not qualify as a big storm. Our top wind here today may have been 20 miles an hour, so forth. So I'm going to post this on YouTube as a YouTube video. I don't have my programs and stuff to put all the feeders and headers and stuff on it. But I'll just leave it out there because I got a couple of friends who aren't on Facebook. And they were kind of wondering what things look like. There are some, believe me, like I said, I've been coming here for 6 years. I have never seen waves this big on this beach. But you don't see them like that. Those ones out there that are turning over right now. It's very, very unusual. There is a shallow run in here. There is a sandbar out there that they're breaking over. We have lost some beach here this morning. This, by the way, stretch of beach that runs from Dolphin Island all the way down over there to the end of Naples, Florida. If you could see it down that way, it's some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. And I speak with authority. I've been to a lot of beaches around this planet, and this is by far and away, as far as the sand and stuff, this is as good as it gets. The only difference here is the water is not crystal clear. If you go down to Cancun, Cozumel, Grand Cayman, Barbados, even out in the Bahamas, like at Grand Turks, Castaway Key was nice. But all those places down in the Caribbean, probably one of our favorite beaches is Carlisle Beach in Barbados. Aruba was nice. Didn't get to spend very much time there on the beach, but maybe one day we'll get back to cruising and we'll get back down there and spend some time there. All right, so I'm just going to leave this as on a post on YouTube. Like I said, the storm, technically I'm looking due south right now, and the storm center would be right over there, probably about 90 miles out there. It's headed down towards, right now at the tip of the mouth of the Mississippi River, and then it's supposed to make a turn somewhere in there and go due north, which is the typical type pattern that a storm of this nature at this time of the year would run. And of course, as we all know, since this is 2020, we can figure none of that's going to happen. Because one thing we absolutely know, this year, nothing that anybody projects that they say they know is right just turned out to be right, and they didn't know anyway. So we'll leave the comments at that point and let it go. But this is the Gulf of Mexico. This is Orange Beach, Alabama, and this is Tropical Storm Sally. Now, they were predicting heavy rains in here. We have not seen them. We've been watching the radar, and the feeder bands start coming in, and then it looks like, because we could see the blue skies back behind us, we're feeding dry air into the system, and the feeder bands were dying out. So that tends to cut the strength of the storm big time. This storm also is almost entirely on the east side of the storm. So something's getting into it on the west side, and that definitely affects these type of tropical events. We had one a couple of weeks ago. They lost. Name, I think it was Ralph. And it was followed by Laura or something. Yeah, and Laura was bad. Caused an awful lot of damage in 5 parishes in the west side of Louisiana, which I'm sure everybody's heard about. And it did a lot of damage. Now, one of the things that happened where it hit is it had been a while since they had a storm through there, and an awful lot of people, after the big one over there in 2005, Rita, down in Cameron Parish and some of those places, came in and did things with mobile homes. Well, all those things that were done with mobile homes are gone. Laura destroyed them all. It's not the solution to the problem if you're going to live in a place where you're going to have 140 mile an hour winds. Mobile homes don't work. They come apart, they roll over, they get destroyed very easy. So you go look at some of the damage done in Lake Charles, and I'm one of those people for my entire life who've dealt with these things. You get to where you recognize certain issues. The other thing that happened over there is that there was a lot of old trees that were dead, and when the big old trees that are dead come down, they take all the utilities with them, and they basically ended up with no electricity or internet cables and all that stuff went. So they got to rebuild it all. Some old towers, one big TV tower, one of the TV stations, old construction type tower, it collapsed and caved in. It was old, and they, in people loading it that were taking it down and putting on trucks to tow it to the scrapyard, made some comments in a video I saw about why the tower came down. It wasn't the wind gave it the push, but the tower actually should have been removed. The guy said this was a safety hazard. So anyway, yeah, don't let those trees grow next to your house. Warning, it'll come into your house. Don't live next to water. If you live next to water, it will visit you too. So there it is. And you've watched what we've been watching now for, well, we had a nice sunny day yesterday. Sun was out this morning, so can't say, it's a week at the beach and creates a little bit more interest. So here we go.